everybody. Welcome to our next edition of Coalitions Getting Coffee during COVID-19. Today we have with us Crystal Dykes, who is the health educator at Community Health Corps' Prefnet Coalition. What's going on, Crystal?
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing just great. The weather has been unusually warm. It's beautiful outside. It's a great day. It's a Friday that we're filming this, so I'm excited
Yes.
to get ready for this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So let's start off with some fun. Tell me a fun, non-political, but controversial opinion of yours. So something that you feel strongly about that many people might disagree with.
So it's not super, it might be controversial. I've never really heard people talk about it before besides my family. My husband thinks it's gross, but my grandpa used to put mayo in like goulash or spaghetti, any kind of tomato-based pasta. And then I saw him do it one time when I was young, and so I don't do it every time, but I kind of like it every now and then on my tomato pasta. So it might sound gross, but it's not too bad. It's like a creamy, I don't know, it makes it like a creamy something, but
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm kind of intrigued by it. That is unusual. So that's a good one.
Yeah.
Mine, I don't remember if I've said this one before, but this is one of my favorite rants, and it's probably not all that unpopular, but I totally hate the time change.
Oh yeah. Yeah. My dad would agree with you on that. He was actually just griping about it the other day.
Yeah.
I can agree. I think they've been talking about it being gone, but yeah, I can agree on that one.
Yeah, like if I was gonna do like a pros and cons list of moving to Arizona, one of the biggest pros would be that they don't mess with the time. They just keep it always in daylight savings time, I believe, which is what I would
Yeah.
want. I don't know why when it gets all cold and you're forced to be inside anyways that you
It
then
gets
change
so
the time to
dark.
where you can't go outside even if you want.
Right.
So
Yes, it gets so dark so quickly. And it's like by the time we get off work, well, there's your whole day.
time to go inside. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyways, there we go. It's my understanding that Prevnet is a new coalition. So tell me a little bit about it and the role that you play.
Okay. So yeah, I am health educator for Prevnet. We have 3 official members that do kind of like the groundwork, Angelica Fuentes, Robert Warburton, and myself. Angelica's team lead, and I think you've already had a coffee with coalitions with her. So yeah, she was excited to do that. We were actually, Community Health Corps was given the grant in 2019. We were actually awarded the grant in 2019. But we weren't able to actually start working until we were all hired and things were kind of more moving with, especially with COVID kind of slowing things down. But in about March to June is when we really got things going. And I say going, really just blossomed at all. And so then the last few months, things have really picked up. We've just been working on getting our name out there, getting the information out there about Prevnet. And what that is, Prevnet was a coalition formed by Community Health Corps. And we were funded, of course, by SAMHSA through the grant. And so the purpose of our coalition is to reduce underage drinking. So it's alcohol use, marijuana use, and methamphetamine use among kids aged 9 to 20. And the counties, we do cover 9 East Texas counties. And so any kind of information that we send out, we do include like a little map so that people can understand, what our areas are. But yeah, the biggest part is just to reduce the 30-day usage, which I know can be measured by like the Texas School Survey and other surveys alike. But yeah, that's the 2 biggest goals. That I would say the biggest part of it right now is just capacity building, getting with people like you that know your communities. I know we share several counties, or one with you and then some with Joseph with the Piney Woods. But yeah, we just getting with people that know their communities, that know what they need. Anybody that's involved in youth prevention, community prevention as a whole, either way. Community Health Corps is very excited to have a prevention-based section in, now. And so we're really excited, and things are finally getting to move forward. I think COVID kind of slowed everybody down just a little bit, but in a lot of ways, it's been good. So yeah, we are finally getting up there and getting moving.
Yeah, yeah. I'll ask you a question about that because you guys started during the midst of the pandemic, which is really, really
Yes.
tricky. Um, but I kind of want just to ask a question about substance abuse prevention in general, and maybe just as it relates to your own personal story. Like,
Mm-hmm.
where does your passion for that come from? What drew you to a position like the one that you have now?
So I actually went to nursing school and graduated with that, got licensed, and every day, every day I was there, I was just more focused on prevention, not treating, more just like how could we have prevented this? And, whether it been some pressure sores, from not being turned in a bed enough, whether it be patients' diabetes getting out of control because they weren't maybe educated about ways to do it, or they just refused to. But, just why are these things the way they are, and how can we fix it before it gets to this extent? And I found myself really focusing on prevention and wanting to just kind of serve the community. And I didn't exactly know how to do that in nursing. So it was kind of fun going through nursing school, not knowing how the end was going to be. But as I got out, I said, I'm not going to settle for a job and nurses are not settling. I want to put that out there, but especially right now. But I just knew that there was something out there that I wanted. I felt like if I just waited and really looked and looked, then I would find it. And then I found this post. It was this job posting, and it wasn't super descriptive. So I just kind of, it was a shot in the dark there, and applied for it. And then whenever they told me what it was, I was like, oh my gosh, this is like my dream job. And so with substance use in particular, I have three brothers that have all been in and out of the criminal system. They've, drugs, alcohol, just really shown me, just a good example of youth substance use. And how that affects your lives, and how it really sets your life up for you. So yeah, I just knowing that with my nursing background, and then just what it does to the body, and what it does to the brain of adolescence. It's interesting, and I'm very excited. I feel like that's where my passion comes from for it, but for prevention in a whole is kind of what got me going.
Awesome. Yeah, that's great. I like asking these questions. I get to know you guys a little bit better. So that's neat.
Yeah.
We all come from different places, but it's neat to have a common goal to help kids make good choices about drugs and alcohol. So,
Yes,
um,
absolutely.
all right, now to the pandemic question. So, you guys started, you said you got funded in 2019, but you really didn't get the ball rolling until 2020. And lo and
Yes.
behold, when it was time to really get going, coronavirus hit. So,
Yes.
just how has that impacted you and your work? Give me some of the highlights or lowlights, if you will, of what the coronavirus has done to you guys and your work as a coalition.
Yeah, so I actually got hired in April. So it was actually Robert got hired in March, I got hired in April, and then Angelica got hired in June. So kind of back to back there. But yes, immediately after COVID, it was kind of just like, hey, you're going to be working from home. Don't have an office at this moment, or you have one, but you can't use it. So like, it was interesting. It was kind of almost soothing though, because you get to be in your own home and comforted and stuff. Getting to know like the technology side of everything, of course, for a new job was interesting from home. But everyone was super just supportive with Community Health Corps. It was a very easy startup. And so basically the beginning was just to learn about the grant, learn about Community Health Corps, just know really what all we offer, what we can offer, and things like that. Start communicating with people in the community, which was hard at the beginning, especially during that time. I think it's definitely gotten a lot easier. People are I want to say this lightly. They're like less scared of COVID, even though that kind of scares me that everyone's like lightening up with it. But yeah, and originally it was a little difficult just getting in contact with people because people were so unsure with their jobs and if they were, you didn't know if they were in their location or if they were at home and, you know, the best way to contact them and things like that. But we really picked up I would say the last 3 months or so really has sped things up for us. But it's been actually good. One positive thing I've noticed is that we've been able to have, there's been a lot of attendance at meetings. And I think that it stems from people being able to just hop on a computer instead of like drive somewhere, you know, and with us serving 9 counties, and then in Northeast Texas, like the bordering counties, people would have to drive, you know, either us or them an hour and a half, 2 hours sometimes. And so that really keeps us from having to do all this driving. And they could just, okay, I have a meeting at 8, but I can, you know, get at your meeting at 9, and it's really worked out. So it's been bad, but good. It's been really good too.
Yeah, that's great. That's awesome. Yeah, I like hearing stories of how organizations overcome it, and especially just looking for the positives. You know, you've already
Yes.
described like the use of technology and the ways that it can assist you.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no question that it's been tough on a lot of people,
Mm-hmm.
but I just wonder let's fast forward like 3 years, however long into the future when this is gone. It looks like it might actually be sooner than that because I heard that there's a vaccine that is like 90%
Yes.
effective. So we'll see. But
Good.
let's just assume that coronavirus is a thing of the past. Is there something like positive you think that we'll take away from this long term? A
Ooh.
silver lining that you anticipate, or I wonder how you might do work differently. Of course, you didn't really have too much work to do before, but I like hearing how things like this will definitely change the way we do stuff. And I'm wondering, like for you in particular, is there anything positive that you can take away from some things we've learned through the coronavirus?
I think that everyone's mental health might get better a little bit just because we've been so isolated for since February when everything kind of went downhill. And, you know, I know that it's always nice to just like get on, like we use Blue Jeans instead of Zoom, but it's the same thing basically, but it's just always nice to like get on a meeting and see your supervisors and see people like in person. So I think that is going to be a great thing, one for just your mental health, but two for those relationships. You know, when you smile with the mask on, it's like, you know, you can't see much. And so I think that masks are great and they're great for prevention, you know, but I think that everyone will be relieved, and just to have those communications, you know, going out to a lunch date, having a work meeting where you don't have to sit, you know, 10 feet apart. And I think it'll just bring those relationships that we've grown over this COVID period a lot closer, getting to see those people in person, shake their hand. Like that's something that I've had to adjust to. I've always been told to shake hands, and it's so weird now. You know, and you feel rude. So I think that those relationships will definitely blossom. And it's something that I really look forward to. One, just not being afraid to, you know, get sick would be great. But the other thing would just be those two, the mental health, and then getting to actually see people and grow what relationships we've already formed.
I really like that. And I think I totally agree with what you're saying. Sometimes you don't really know what you have until it's taken away. You can't truly appreciate it until it's gone. And so little things like smiling at strangers, you know, is taken away. High fives or bumping into people in the store is taken away. Things that maybe even were a nuisance before, getting in crowds.
Right.
It's like you kind of miss in some ways being around other people. I do hope that that's true. You know, I hope that that when we can be around each other, that when we are, we appreciate it more and don't see each other as obstacles or nuisances, but just all part of humanity together. So that's cool. I like what you're saying, and I agree. I think there's wisdom in that. I hope that's true too.
Yes, definitely. I know it will be for me, so I hope so everywhere.
Yep. So, what are you most looking forward to when life finally returns to normal? And you've already hit on it a little bit, but maybe on a
Yes.
personal level, is there anything in particular that you like can't wait to experience?
Yeah, so we we've kind of limited like family gatherings just because, for caution for everyone involved. And so just that's one thing I really miss. We like to go out to eat, have celebrations for birthdays, be close. We're a close family. And so that's huge for us. I mean, I have great support with my husband, and then my mom. We stay in contact quite a bit, but we moved pretty far away from family, so like any kind of contact at all is really helpful and great, and we enjoy it. So, um, I mean, it's great with all the technology we have. You can FaceTime, all this Facebook video chat and everything, not just for work, but it's not the same as getting together for like Thanksgiving, having everybody there, or like baby showers, and just going to the store, being just freedom, I guess. And that's one thing I miss is just family time, like going around and feeling like you're not going to get sick, like just normal family time, I guess.
Yeah, no, that's great. I mean, what you're saying is resonating really loud and clear with me because tomorrow we were supposed to go to my nephew's birthday party in Kilgore. They were going to have a hay bale ride and things like that, but my brother-in-law's work, there have been several people who've come down with COVID, and my brother-in-law was kind of feeling sick himself. So anyway, the
Yeah.
party's canceled, and this was something that my
Yeah.
sister like worked really hard on the weeks leading up to it. She cut out these little trains and stuff like out of
Oh my
paper to
God.
make it like nice. It's his third birthday, and now it's just canceled.
Oh,
I don't know what we'll do. I'm sure she'll still use the decorations, and we maybe do something smaller, just like the family, rather than
yes.
have like friends and stuff. But that really resonates with me.
Yeah.
Selfishly though, like on a more like lighthearted, goofy note, one thing that I'm looking forward to, and it just came to my mind, was and this probably is going to sound really weird, but like being able to try on clothes and return them.
Yes, I forgot about that. That was so weird for me. I went into a Ross and they were closed down, like the try on section, and I was just like, okay, so
Yeah.
I guess I just buy these then.
Yep. And then you do buy them, and then you can't take them back.
Oh, see, I've taken some back, so I don't
Oh,
know, but I don't know. It may be different for stores.
it probably is. And maybe like, so like Walmart, I like, this was like in April. I got some shorts and
Oh,
ended up
okay,
not
okay.
fitting. Of course, they wouldn't let you try them
Uh-huh.
on. Ended up not
Right.
fitting, so I tried to take them back, and they're like, we don't take back like clothing. And
That's like all your money you just wasted. Yeah.
yeah, and it wasn't a whole lot. It was one pair of shorts. But then I tried like 2 months later, and they're still like, nope, we're still not taking it back. And I'm like, I still have them. They're hanging on my door. They've been like hanging
Oh
on my
no.
door for months. Walmart probably is letting you take them back now. I don't know, but there you go. That's something that I'm looking forward to, is be able to actually try clothes on and take them back if they don't work.
Yes. That's something so small that you just like, it's not small, it's big when you're actually at the store. But man, it's something you don't really think about just immediately. And then when you said that, I was like, oh my gosh, yes, I had that same problem. And I'm that person that like needs to try on clothes before I buy them. Otherwise, I mean, I might end up taking them back, of course, most likely. But yeah, that's crazy. I didn't even think about that one. That's a really good one to think about.
Yep. All right. Let's wrap it up with what's in the mug.
Okay.
Tell me a little bit about your go-to morning drink.
So, we have just some regular coffee. I say regular, it's extra strong. My husband is a caffeine addict for sure, but has right now some cream. I have to have creamer. I can't do just black. I wish I could, but I cannot. I have tried. And so this one actually has, what is it called? The peppermint mocha, the creamer. And it puts me in the holiday spirit. And I'm so excited. I don't have a Christmas tree yet because we just moved and we got to buy one still. And I'm all about Christmas. So I have to have some kind of a spark in my coffee at least.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
And
Yeah.
what about you?
So I've got my big stuff mug here back from the youth ministry days. This was a camp that we would go to in Panama City, which was kind of cool. So it was on the beach. Really, really fun. But inside is just some coffee that just down the street, there's a place called Brady's Coffee, and they have all these cool coffee beans. I think they've got like over 20 of these big glass jars.
Oh,
So you can go
wow.
fill them up. And then I like to grind it up and do the Chemex pour over.
Okay.
So, and
Fancy.
I keep trying different kinds. Yeah. So you boil the water and grind up the beans and like, so it's a
Wow.
little more involved, but it tastes better. And I do
Appreciate it after that, I'm sure.
feel fancy doing it. So this one was called Jamaican Blue. That's the kind of coffee beans, but they
Ooh.
have them from all over, you know, the regions where you can get coffee. So I've
Oh,
tried,
wow.
I just got my 4th bag because the Jamaican Blue just ran out. And I can't remember off the top of my head what it is, but it's fun trying it and making it. And I'm definitely,
Yeah.
I drink it black. So
Of course. Well, then I feel like if you're going to have unique kinds of coffee, you wouldn't want to put creamer in it because you want to actually enjoy the coffee. We just get the Great Value brand from Walmart.
there you go. Hey, Great Value brand. Yeah, that's great.
Well, we drink so much of it, so we got to keep it in stock.
Right.
That's awesome.
Cool. Well, we're going to wrap this up. I asked you before we started recording about just directing people. I've got an email address that I'll share with everybody, but is there anything else you'd like to say to our audience as you guys are trying to grow your coalition, or anything you want to direct the people to?
Yeah, so we are working on getting the Community Health Corps website up and running and looking great with all of Prefnet's information. Until then, we do have just some brief information about us on the Community Health Corps Facebook page. But what we do for the most part is any kind of information that we do have handout. We have brochures, we do have flyers, we have slideshows. We're working on a video at the moment, actually. And so just things that can really tell about what Prefnet is, who we are, to give just a brief explanation, but we're always open to meeting with people. The email address, if you ever want to, which we can always share that any kind of way, but would just be prev.net@communityhealthcorps.com. And so, yeah, that would be probably the best way to get in contact with us, or you can probably call Community Health Corps at the Med Plaza location in Longview and just ask for Prefnet and they'll transfer you to us. But yeah, that we're working on getting more of like a social media platform built up for us, as well as information on the website so that, we can distribute that information a little bit more efficiently. But for now, we would love to meet, talk on the phone, meet virtually, whatever it is. And we are always happy to talk about Prefnet and how we can help the community.
Awesome. All right. Well, thanks again for your time, Crystal. I appreciate the work that you're doing. Wish you guys well, and we'll be staying in touch as we continue to try to improve those protective factors in our communities.
Definitely. Thank you so much for having me.
Yep, my pleasure. See you later.
Okay, bye.